I want to thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution. We talk about everything crypto daily, jumping right into the market. Today in crypto, there's a big chance that the Fed could pivot after this next rate hike. We're going to cover that news at the end, but we've seen the dollar DXY get smashed and Bitcoin running out of room, potentially bull pennant. This could be the final move out of this pattern that we've been waiting on. Good for Bitcoin and bad for the dollar. And that's essentially what you want. So again, Bitcoin's been in this triangle forever, it seems like. Let's see, May 22nd. Like, this thing has been drag session. Now the pattern's running out of room. You got four days left until this thing runs out of room, and you've got some news coming out that very important we're going to talk about in just a second. I've got some amazing shout outs to give in my trading group. This person joined the group, $38,000 up to $63,000 in about 6 months. Listen, in a bear market, you're making this kind of money, you've got to preserve your capital. Do not give up a bunch of your money. You're going to need it later. This person started with $12,000 at $128,000, over 10x. You need this money to go. If you want life-changing money in the bull market, you need to save your money in the bear market. This person, 11 days since I joined the group, and they used to hodl, and they turned 4,000 to 14,000 in a few days. We post banger after banger after banger. We've had so many people rejoining the group, coming back to where the money is made. We're going to continue the discount. So right now it's 60% off if you pay in crypto, and an additional $100 off. The group is cheap. It pays for itself. It's a no-brainer. Big to make sure you're in the best setups, period. Go over to my website, cryptorev.net. Join. If you have any questions about joining, send me an email, cryptobitcoinchris@gmail.com. Just imagine if you're in a couple 30, 40, 50% profits, and then you just roll it over a couple times, like, you make a lot of money very fast. Just do the math on a calculator. Bitcoin CME futures. Okay, so Bitcoin is in this flag bull pennant, right? You've got the falling wedge, 68% chance of this breaks out to the upside. This mid-range has been some strong resistance, but again, this recent news we're about to cover in just a second, like, the dollar is getting smashed on hopes that the Fed pivots. They're talking about 75 basis points, which they've been doing. Hasn't necessarily been working per se. You've seen a move from of inflation at 9.3%. Now it's down to about 8.2% after rate hike after rate hike after rate hike. But they know that they can't kill this market completely. And so, I mean, potentially they could just pause and wait for the pain to set in. Remember, markets are real good at bottoming 6 months or 12 months before the actual economy, real life, reality bottoms, right? Home sales, you know, you've seen a decline in home sales, but it's nowhere near what it should be based on what interest rates are at 22-year highs. Right. So again, it just takes time for this to play out. It doesn't happen fast enough. You know, if you're looking for houses right now, you're waiting for these prices to come down. In big markets, in major markets, you know, Dallas and California, you're seeing pretty considerable pullbacks. Utah, but in smaller markets, you know, you've got all these builders. Homes are on, you know, they're definitely reducing the price of homes, but it just doesn't, it's not playing out as fast as the rates are being hiked. So what they'll do, the Fed can pause and kind of leave the rates where they're at, and then the pain sets in over a year's time. But the bottom line is 68% chance this breaks out to the upside, and if it does, needs to break mid-range and could test range high of 20,495. But you've got this major overhead resistance that hasn't been broken in months. And so that's what the bulls are up against. This is the altcoin market cap, total 2. When the altcoins break out of this pattern, and they're right here, key bounce off support, they break out of this pattern, I mean, you could see a move, about an 8% move up to this resistance level, a breakout above this level. You know, you could see 27% move higher out of the altcoins. If you look at ES1, I called this break to the downside on this rising wedge, and then the news came out about the Fed potentially 75 basis point rate hike coming on November the 2nd, and easing off these substantial rate hikes after that. But will it happen this year or beginning of 2023? So again, right now, ES1, which Bitcoin has been following, working considerably higher. You don't want to see this get rejected and some downside, but at this point, this is a higher low. The dollar, this thing pumped crazy, broke out. So you had this falling wedge, right? And you have this inverse head and shoulders, broke out to the upside, and then the news came out, perfectly timed, where the Fed is going to potentially slow down the rate hikes. Just talked about. Just market likes to price in information and data as soon as possible, right? So it's very important. If this breaks to the downside, you can see crypto run up, stock market run up. And again, these stock ideas are important to learn, because more and more in the future, you're only going to see more of this, because clearly major players in the stock market are trading Bitcoin, and Bitcoin leading the altcoins. So, gentlemen, we're hitting that the Federal Reserve is going to do another 75 basis point rate hike in November, then pivot. And so the dollar starts to fall off highs. Maybe the Fed got the message how close the world is to financial collapse. I mean, you got the Prime Minister of the UK. She just bailed, 44 days in office, and she just bailed. Like, inflation around the world is out of control. The Fed's talking about 2% inflation, right? They're at 8.2% now. I don't see it happening. I've heard ideas where they get down to 5% and they just pause and they wait for the damage to be done. I mean, this is the biggest manipulation you could see by the government in these financial markets. They do this on purpose. They cause this pain. Then people start slowing down what they're buying, and they force the dollar even higher. So again, very important ideas to pay attention to. Glad I could get this out to you so quickly. Definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment in the comment box. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.